Okay, so this is just a time lapse going from our garage to Tanadalen. This is running across the snow road that sort of links the two mountains. We've got Tanadalen and Hundfjellet. Come across the road, and then the first thing I do is push and tidy up this queuing area so that it sets up and freezes. Then we've got a road to dig out that goes to a nightclub. It's covered in snow during the day, and then we've got to dig it out so they can take deliveries first thing in the morning. And just in case they need to move anything, this is heading up the bottom of Specialen into Skogsbakken, going up the low side, as you should. Always push the snow from the low side to the top. This is the top of the Mio Express. There was a bit of a drift there, so I decided to push that out the way while I was there. And then tidy up a little bit into the load area. It's not something I normally do, but sort of get it started. And then this is heading out to Sul, turning around at the top of Hohenfallet into Comeerten, swinging into Comeerten by the anchor there. And this is hooking up the winch cable, then heading down and starting to groom that. You can only groom so far down that slope, and then the bottom half of the slope basically is done by a free cat from the bottom up, and they turn around just below or just above where I'm turning around. It was hero snow this day as well. We just had fresh snow during the day and good conditions, so it's really good weather for grooming and good conditions for grooming. Doing the last couple of backups in this slope. Now take note of the snow mist around the machine through most of this video. This is why an exterior camera is a bit difficult. Take the winch cable off and carry on and get the top half done, so that I usually link the top of Hohenfallet and Comeerten just for efficiency's sake. And then pushing down into Sulliften. So there's a bit of snow drift in the lift area there, so I'm bringing that snow down because we don't get much snow that settles in this area because of the trees. Just attaching the winch again. I keep the winch centered as I go through there so that the T's can't catch on it. This is hooking up at the top of Hohenfallet. Yeah, that's a summer road that I'm turning around on there, and that's sort of the line where the free cat will come down later and finish off the bottom half. There's a bit of an awkward shape, this slope, because it's sort of wide at the top, then narrow through the middle, and then wide at the bottom. It's not the same number of passes all the way around, so there's can either do a few backups or turnarounds at the bottom. That's that done. Moving on to the next one. Just the road out to the top of Storebakken. I'll try and get, well, that's another road that goes back towards Sullift. And then this is generally what I do just before lunch. We stop for lunch at 9 o'clock, or dinner, whatever you want to call it. So I usually do the free grooming passes at the top of Storebakken, and then I can link them up when I winch it after lunch. It's usually the first slope I winch after my lunch. Got a bit of spare time here, so this is the skier's left side. It's a different anchor than what I usually use, and I've been asked to start widening the slope, so there's lances on the right that you can see there. Those will get removed, and then that wall on the right will be knocked over flat, and then the slope will probably go another 3 passes, I'd imagine. There's sort of a mix of man-made snow in there and natural snow that we've had from the snowfall during the day, so I'm mixing that up and packing it in and getting it flat, ready to start widening. Either I'll do it on my next shift or I'm off at the moment, so The other guy might have already widened it. We'll see what happens. Detach the winch again. I think that'll be the last time I have the winch hooked up before lunch. This is the top of Specialen, heading back down, and I guess that's where my battery died, so that's the end of that, unfortunately. I thought it would get all the way to the garage, but gives you an idea of what the first sort of 3 hours are in 5 minutes.